Food intolerances. We all know someone that deals with that, right? Whether it's us or a friend, family member, whoever. We all know someone who has a food or multiple foods they have to avoid. I grew up with that issue. I struggled with dairy and with wheat for years. I still have to be careful with gluten, and I'm working on that. The lactose intolerance I have worked myself out of, and I'm excited to share with you how that came about. But did you know that food intolerance isn't so much our issue as it is a lack of enzymes that our body needs to break down that particular food? I love looking at digestion from this approach, and that's what I want to share with you guys tonight. So let's look at what's in our digestive system, because knowing how that works is going to play a part in correcting some of the issues that you may be struggling with. So it includes our mouth, stomach, liver, pancreas, gallbladder, small intestine, and large intestine. So did you know that the mouth has an enzyme that it produces to help break down food? The longer you chew, the better you are going to be able to digest your food. Not just because you're not going to choke on it because you've chewed it, but because there is an enzyme there that's already working on breaking down that food to make it easier for your body to digest and get nutrients from. Our stomach contains stomach acid that helps keep us healthy by killing bad bacteria that can cause issues like food poisoning. And also, peristalsis starts here. Peristalsis is a wave-like motion that goes through the digestive system that helps to naturally move things through the system, and also to help move it up against parts of our intestines to help the villi and microvilli absorb the nutrients. The villi are like straws that are there looking to soak up that nutrient from whatever food. So the liver, this is a big deal. He helps to filter out any kind of bad things in our body. So toxins, metals, whatever shouldn't be there. He's looking to get that out of there, and he also helps to purify the blood in that function. Our pancreas is important because this produces insulin. The body needs this to properly deal with sugar and all of that balance that comes with that function. And then the gallbladder is also important because this produces multiple enzymes for our overall digestion. There are many that come from this. The pancreas also produces a couple of its own. We'll talk about those a little bit down the line. And then that small intestine, large intestine are there for helping to soak up the nutrients and then pass along what we don't need. So let's take a while to focus in on the enzymes themselves. The first one, and these are in no particular order, the first one is amylase. This is the enzyme that we secrete in our mouth when we chew, and this helps to break down carbs. How many of you love carbs, whether it's bread or rolls or rice or pasta? All of those things are carbs, and carbs in and of themselves are not a bad thing. Our body needs them to produce energy. So I'm not saying ditch the carbs. You want to be careful of the quality of the carb that you're ingesting, because not all of them are nutrient rich, but you need this enzyme to properly break that down. Pepsin, this is our enzyme that is responsible for breaking down proteins, and this is one that is secreted from the gastric glands in our stomach. So our stomach is not just about the stomach acid, it does contain that enzyme. So this is important to the balance overall of breaking things down in the stomach. Then also trypsinogen, and you guys, I forgot to look these up, so forgive me if I butcher them. This is also helpful with breaking down protein. Trypsin, also protein. Pancreatic lapse lipids. These are responsible for breaking down fats. So we have healthy fats and unhealthy fats. Obviously, we want to be gearing more toward the healthy fats, like butter. I'm sorry, not butter. Avocado, fish, oil, things like that. Butter is not a bad thing necessarily, but it's not particularly listed among the healthy fats, so I don't want to don't want to mislead you there. Then pancreatic amylase is also responsible for fat. So regular amylase does carbs. The amylase that our pancreas produces is responsible, one of them that's responsible for helping to break down fats. So we really want to make sure that we're getting those things we need to properly break down fat, because when fat is not properly broken down and gotten rid of, then we come across problems with weight gain, blood pressure, all the things that can be tied to being an unhealthy weight. Then also protease. This is a protein, or this is the enzyme that's responsible for protein. There's multiple of them that help with this. And its particular function is to help break down the protein molecules into a smaller form so that they are easier for digestion. So if you find that you're struggling with breaking down protein, some people struggle with protein powders because they're not a lean protein source. This is something that can help you with that. And Young Living, our protein powders are lean protein source, so typically they don't aggravate people's digestion. I've had no problem with it when I've used it. So that's just kind of a fun little side fact there. But that's what protease does. And then invertase, this is responsible for breaking down sucrose. Sucrose is then converted into glucose and fructose. This is all going to affect blood sugar and that sort of thing, because these are all part of that family. Sucrose added to things to sweeten them is not a good option. It is a naturally occurring thing that we do get, that we need to break down, but adding it to the body is not a good option. So do be aware of the types of non-sugar sweeteners that you're getting, because things like aspartame, sucrose, sucralose, those are added and they're not good for us. Then lipase, this is also a big one that's responsible for breaking down fats. This is featured in some of our Young Living supplements that we'll talk about in just a little bit, but this is one of the big boys when it comes to breaking down fat. Lactase, this is probably my favorite enzyme personally, because it helps us to break down lactose, and that's something that I struggled with since I was like 11, maybe 12, and I struggled with it all the way up until late last year, early this year, when I actually learned what it was and how it works and started getting it into my life daily. Like, it's part of my regimen now. But it helps to break down lactose. Lactose is the sugar in milk products. Your body actually naturally produces lactase, because we are supposed to be able to break that down on our own, but we don't always produce enough of it. Some of us have trouble producing the amount that we need, and that's when we start to see lactose intolerance and issues with dairy. So for me, I could do some dairy. My body produced enough that I could do some and be okay. A little bit of cheese on something, a little bit of sour cream, but I could not drink plain milk, and I could not just eat regular ice cream back in the day when I did that, before I knew how full of sugar and all of that it was. I could not handle those things, even if I took like a store brand chewable pill that was supposed to help me with that. It just did not help me. I still ended up feeling very sick and uncomfortable. So I was really, really excited to find this, use it. I've seen a huge change when you actually use the natural, real thing. It works. Then also cellulase. This helps to break down plant fibers. So vegetables and I guess, what other plants do we eat? I mean, vegetables, really, I guess that's about it. Maybe also like some fruits, because they're a plant. But if you struggle, I would say, with feeling gassy and things after you have eaten plant-based things, even beans, I would think would fall into this, because they are a plant. So if you struggle with that, this is something that you want to get into your diet to help you break down that fiber, and then hopefully see a difference in not feeling as maybe bloated or gassy. And then dietase, this helps break down starches, which would work hand in hand really well with the amylase and the carbs, because carbs and starches tend to come together, but not necessarily synonymous. So that could help there. And then also glucoamylase, I had to read that one. And this also helps with starch. So those are just a few. There are many more enzymes. These are, I guess if you want to say, the bigger hitters that you can use to help your digestion. They're also the ones that are featured in the supplements I'm about to tell you about in just a little bit. So I wanted to make sure we understood what they were and the functions that they play. Some practical tips for helping you with digestion and food in general. Hydrate. Your body is high percentage of water. I don't remember the statistic, but for anything in our body to function, we need water. But especially for that wave-like motion, that peristalsis to work, we need that fluid in there to keep everything, basically to keep like the function lubricated. You can't expect a machine to run without oil. You can't expect our body to work without water. That's basically how it breaks down in simple, like the simplest term I could think to explain it, because I'm no scientist. Also, raw food. The closest to the original form that the food comes in that you can eat it is the healthiest you are going to get it, and you'll get the most from it. It'll also be the easiest to break down. As far as that goes, I want you to know, because I did not know this, the more you heat a food, the more nutrients you lose from it. So every time you reheat something, or if you cook it super long, or even steaming, which is not a bad option, but when you do things like that with the food, they are going to lose some of their natural nutrients as you go. So I love what one of my Young Living support girls says. Her name is Shannon. She's one of my Diamond support. I absolutely love her. She says, eat things as close to their original, you guys, I lost the word, like their original form as you can. And if eating something out of a can is the closest to the original form that you can eat it, celebrate that. Don't focus on, I've done so bad, I didn't grow this myself and get it out of my garden, like some people can. Focus on like, yes, I ate this as healthy as I possibly can, and go from there. So I love that mentality, because I can easily fall into, oh, I didn't do the very best I can and now horrible me. No, celebrate that you did the very best you could. And then probiotics and prebiotics. These are huge, probably buzzwords right now in the health world, around a lot of things, but especially digestion. So what are they? What do they do? I'm not giving you a super scientific explanation, because again, not a scientist, but basically, simply broken down for me to understand, probiotics are, I lost my spot in my notes, guys. They're the healthy bacteria that the gut needs to thrive. And these are also really beneficial to a lot of other systems. I've been doing some studying on a lot lately because of teaching these and whatever, and probiotics have come up in multiple of them. I even recently found out they're tied to mental health. So it's something that I've added into my regimen to try to help me with my anxiety. So I'm excited to see where that may go. So probiotics are the healthy bacteria that feed the gut, and then prebiotics are what the probiotics feed off of. So you can take straight up just a probiotic, and that's great. But when you add the prebiotic to it, it's even better, because you're giving the bacteria, the good bacteria you need to thrive, then you are giving it what it needs to thrive. So I love how those work in hand. And like I said, that's a big thing right now that people are talking about, and they're actually really not that hard to get and get into your routine. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, that's okay. I get it. I dealt with digestive issues from like young child through college. Had no idea, besides the fact that I couldn't eat gluten and dairy, had no idea why my digestive system was so touchy. I would be awake in the middle of the night with an upset stomach, not necessarily throwing up or with diarrhea, but it just hurt. Sometimes I'd have to get up and walk around. Sometimes I would just be awake in the middle of the night because I just didn't feel well, and I would pop all the over-the-counter stuff that we had at home, whether that was something to try to settle my stomach, or if it was something to try to like balance the acid in my stomach, because at one point I was like overly acidic and was on multiple capsules a day to try to balance that out. I experienced a lot of different things over those years. It wasn't fun. And it never solved my problem overall. It was like slapping a band-aid on the issue, but I just had no idea what my root issue was because I wasn't being pointed in that direction. And at that point, I didn't know there was a way to find out what I needed to know. So if you're wondering, because like you're probably sitting here thinking, so like, what do I do? Where do I focus? Where can I start? Let me point you in a direction to at least get you started. And I'm hoping that you're going to take this and go do some research and stuff on your own that's more specific to whatever your need may be. So I'm going to show you some of Young Living's options and explain to you what those particular products are formulated to do and how they can benefit you. But I want to remind you right here that I am not a doctor, so I'm not giving you medical advice, and none of our products are meant to cure, diagnose, treat, or otherwise handle diseases or anything like that. However, I can tell you that I have used these products and they have made a huge difference in my life. That is why I share this. It's because I trust the purity of the product. I know that they have benefits, and I want you to experience that too. So, this information is not approved by the FDA, but I'm sharing it to empower you to make a decision for yourself, because no one is going to fight for you like you will. So let's look at the Young Living options that we have. First and foremost is my favorite of all of our enzyme options that we have, Allerzyme. This is the capsule that changed my digestive story. This is what I use to help myself with the lactose intolerance. So it features the lactase. It also has a bunch of the other digestive enzymes in it. Its main function is to help people who struggle to break down certain types of food. So for me, that's dairy and gluten. I have used it to, I started taking one capsule every day for a month. And during that month, if I consumed dairy beyond like a small bit of cheese and something, if I tried to drink a cup of milk, then I would take an extra capsule right then when I drank that cup of milk. And I got away with it. I did fine. And I was shocked, but delighted all at the same time. Once I got past that 30-day mark, I just took one every day. And I've been able to do amounts of dairy like I never have before and not have any trouble. It's been amazing. If I start to feel like I'm having a problem, which maybe has happened like once, twice, if at all, if I start to feel like I'm having a problem and I'm worried that it might be related to that, I'll just pop another one, which I can do. It's perfectly safe because these are all natural occurring things that your body just needs more of. So that's my favorite. If you or even your child struggles with any type of food, whether it's dairy, gluten, you name whatever it may be, I highly suggest trying this. The capsule is tiny, super easy to swallow. I'll give you a tip. That's my favorite for taking capsules like this. You put the capsule in your mouth, put a little water in your mouth, tilt your chin towards your chest. Those little things are going to like float up to the top, and just swallow with your chin down, and it goes down, no trouble at all. So even young kids can handle this. If they know how to swallow, this should be easy. We also have Essentialzyme. This is meant to support overall digestion. It has many of the enzymes we've talked about. You can go to Young Living's website and look these up in the search bar and go to the ingredient section and see all of the different ones that they feature. I'm also going to put together and give to you guys who are watching. So if you've watched send me a message and shoot me your email address. I'm going to send you a graphic that I'm going to put together of the products, which enzymes they contain, and what, like a list of the enzymes and what they break down, so that you can more kind of in-depth look at what they do without having to do all the chasing around the website. I want to make this as simple as possible for you. So let me know you want that when you're done watching this, and I will get it to you. I need to finish that today so that I can share it with you after I post this tomorrow. So essential zyme, overall digestion. I believe this one has the lipase, so the like breaking down fats. Essential zymes 4, this is kind of like an upgrade to essential zyme, but so many people loved essential zyme. When they brought out essential zymes 4, they begged them not to, or when they brought out essential zyme 4, they begged them to keep essential zyme. So we have both. But essential zyme 4 is two types of capsules. It's a multi thing. Like you take one at one point and one at another, or maybe together, and they do different things. But anyway, I don't know exactly all about them because I've never specifically taken this one. But they're little capsules, and they are definitely an overall for digestion. Multiple of the enzymes, many of them, do all the things. It's a really good one that I know a lot of people travel with, and anytime they eat out, they take it. Just overall digestion every single day. And then Detoxime, I've taken this one as well. This one also contains lactase, which I love because on occasion Allerzyme goes out of stock. So when I was kind of in between Allerzyme at one point, or maybe even before I started, I was taking Detoxime. So it does have that lactase. If for some reason Allerzyme is out and you need to kind of sub something, it's not necessarily formulated exactly the same way and for the purpose that Allerzyme is. Detoxime's function is detoxing. It's good for helping you to purge things and purify, but also support digestion at the same time. So that's another great option. Another small capsule. It's super easy to swallow. Essential Zyme is the only one that's an actual like tablet. It's a little bit bigger, but an adult can easily handle it. Kids maybe not so much. Then also our KidSense Mighty Zyme. This is enzymes for the kiddos. This is a chewable tablet. So if your kiddos can't swallow and you just want to start some overall digestive support, this is fantastic for them. And then also our Life9 and KidSense Mighty Pro. So Life9 is our probiotic capsule. You store these in the refrigerator, and probiotics are best taken at night because that's when your body can rest and repair. And that's a great time to send those healthy little bacteria into the gut to go do their thing. So I like to take mine at night. The KidSense Mighty Pro is probiotic and the prebiotic, so you get both of those together. It's a little powder packet, like a pixie stick. It's sweetened with stevia, so no sugar, but it is sweet, so the kids like it. It also has our wolfberry in it, which has tons of benefits of its own. I can't even go into that because this is already getting long. But it has those in there. You can, if your kid doesn't like powdery texture, you can put it in yogurt. You can put it in a cold drink of some kind. Just do not heat the thing. And when you heat it, you kill off the probiotics. Then you're not going to get the benefit of it. So those are adult and kid options. Although I do know many adults who take Mighty Pro because it has both and because it's yummy. And I've taken it too. And if you're traveling, this is like easy button all the way because it's in pre-packaged little sleeves. You just tear it off and take it. You don't have to worry about keeping it in a fridge, blah, blah, blah. Love that stuff. Then next we have some other, y'all, I can't think. We have some other options as far as digestions and supplements go, but these aren't necessarily enzymes or probiotics, so I kind of wanted to break them down a little different. Digest and Cleanse is a liquid capsule that is meant to go in and help your body break things down, cleanse things out. Juvatone and Juva Power. If it starts with Juva, it's a liver lover. So it's going to help support your liver. Your liver is connected to many different health things like energy, skin, lots of things. Go look up what your liver does. Blood purity, especially. So you can go look at that. But Juvatone and Juvapower are two options that we have. I've never personally taken those, but you can check those out on Young Living's website. ICP is a fiber, I guess you would call it a powder. It's kind of sandy, I don't know, that you take once a day as part of a cleanse that we have. You can also just take it on occasion as you need it. You mix it into water and buddy, drink that stuff fast before it gets thick. I did a 30-day cleanse with this. I can honestly say it was not my favorite thing in the world, but it's soluble, non-soluble fiber that helps to absorb waste and get it out of the body. And it also goes in there and scrubs out like your colon and digestive tract so that waste is not just sitting there causing problems. So it's not pleasant to take, but it really does make a difference, and I would totally do it again for the benefits. We also have a better one now. It's called ICP Daily that I forgot about when I was writing this. That one is better flavored. I've heard it's a better texture. So if you're looking to support yourself with some fiber daily, I'd go look up the ICP Daily because I've heard good things about that. Then also Comfortone. This is a capsule that is formulated to help keep everything moving in your digestive system. It supports that peristalsis movement so that things don't get backed up. When things get backed up, we open up our body to a lot of negative consequences that none of us want to deal with. Then also our cleansing trio. This is a set that you can get together to do the 30-day cleanse I was just talking about. It's ICP, that not so fun powder, Comfortone to help keep everything moving. So ICP is going to help scrub out the waste that's there, Comfortone to help keep it moving, and then Essential Enzyme to help you break down what you are eating while you're on that cleanse. So Jared and I did that 30-day cleanse together. We both saw some different results from it, but we both got good results. And then Ningxia Red, because this is good for every system of the body. I talk about it every single week. You guys probably are tired of hearing about it, but what could be more simple than swallowing an ounce of a juice and going about your day? Nothing. So I love that stuff. And then a few oils that help your digestive system. Digest is like my top go-to. It does not smell good. I will be quite honest with you guys. It was the last oil from our starter kit that we opened because I did not like the smell of it. Like I smelled it and I was like, no, thank you. Didn't really know a whole lot about it. Got to know more about it and started using it and have never been without it since. So Digest is great. You can put it in your belly button to help support digestion. I don't remember which is which, but if you apply it clockwise or counterclockwise, one helps get things moving. Applying it the other way helps stop things from moving if you're having issues with things moving too fast, if you know what I mean. So if you want to know which is which, let me know and I'll find out and get back to you. Tummy Jize is our Kid Sense, basically version of Digest, so pre-diluted for the kiddos for their tummies. You can drip it straight in their belly button, apply it to their belly. Really helps, and it smells better than Digest. So some adults even like that one. Then Java Cleanse and Java Flex. These are two oils that are great for your liver, which also helps with that whole digestive tract. GLF, this is for gallbladder and liver health. A lot of people take the Vitality version of this oil in capsules to help support their gallbladder and liver. And then also ginger and peppermint. These are two of the most well-known, respected from like old ancient medicine plants for helping digestion. So having them in oil form makes them even more powerful. Again, apply directly to the belly button. The Vitality versions you can take in capsules. Just great for that. When Jared and I dealt with some what we assume was severe food poisoning a few weeks ago, we applied peppermint as well as the Digest straight to our belly buttons. I might have had the ginger with us. I probably just didn't think about it because I was feeling so yucky, but I knew peppermint and Digest for sure. So we were using those and made a huge difference in our recovery. So I will never be without these things. So every week I tell you guys how you can join my family because I just told you about a whole bunch of things. And if this is something you want to get into your life, this is something I want to help you with. If you're not ready to take that step, that's okay too. I'm here whenever you want to talk. So to join my family, you can see the steps on the screen. Follow the link that you're going to find in the description or the comments of this video. You can then add what you want on subscription from that point. I set it up to put it on subscription so that you guys get that 24% discount. If you do not want to keep the subscription after you make that order, that is perfectly fine. You can just go in and take everything off the subscription and it will not process anything else the next month. So you're not at a risk for that. There's nothing that's locking you in. But I want you to get that 24% discount because why pay 24% more? Hello, like why would I have you do that? So that's why I set it up that way. You can go in, add what you want, leave what you don't, fill in all your information, and boom, you're set to go. What you order will show up at your door within 7 to 10 days. It really doesn't get any more simple than that. The details to our subscribe to save, that subscription program that gets you the 24% discount, they are up on the screen. You can see those. It's super flexible, does not tie you into anything. I love this program. I love that Young Living has formatted it this way now. This is, we've had this set up this way for about a month, and people are loving it. I am loving it. The option that you have to set things for 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months is awesome because now some of my monthly order just like automatically sets itself and I can go in and tweak whatever I may custom need. But our supplements and things that we get all the time and we know exactly how long they last us, this thing takes the guesswork out of it for me. Like I don't even have to think about it. It's there. Boom. I'm not going to be out of it. I love it. And then loyalty rewards is something that stacks on top of our subscription when you spend more than $50 or $50 or more in a month. You get the same perks as the subscribe to save, plus then you get some loyalty points and all that. Each point equals $1. They add up. You can cash them in for just about any product on Young Living's website, which is amazing. And I love how fast those points add up. Plus then they also give out free gifts with purchase every month, depending on what your order total may be. So at 100 PV, product value, you earn free shipping, and then you go up from there, and every month you get different things. So that's exciting. That's all I've got for you. I think that was probably enough for you to digest. Sorry, I couldn't resist. But anyway, I hope that was really helpful for you guys. This one went a little longer than I usually let my videos go, but I wanted to really show you how all those things work and what they are so that you can go in and find exactly what's going to benefit you or maybe your child or whoever you're trying to help. So next week is VitaFlex. I've referred to VitaFlex multiple times in this series. This is actually the last body system video, and I can't believe we're already at the end of this. It doesn't seem possible. But next week, we're going to go over VitaFlex, what that technique is, how it works, how you can use it to help yourself, because now you've got to have found something that can help a system of your body. And I'm going to show you how the VitaFlex system, or VitaFlex, I got myself saying system, how the VitaFlex technique can help you support those systems even better. So I'm really excited to see you guys again next week. Thanks for sticking with me and hanging out tonight.